Hi, everybody, and welcome. If you've been following us, I'm currently doing a series of that's called Songs from Albums I've Produced, and this is episode number 22. What I've done is gone back over the almost 50-year career that I've had as a record producer, and I've found songs on various albums that I've learned to perform for you and give you a little bit of the history behind the album and the artist and so on. And today I'm going to do a song from an album that I did with my old friend Cathy Miller. I knew Cathy for many years as a singer-songwriter on the scene. She's originally from Ottawa and now lives in Victoria, BC. But in the early 90s, Cathy was asked to do some music for a play about quilting. And so she took it on, and in the process of doing that, she learned how to quilt. And in the late 90s, she put out an album of songs all about quilting. And it was very successful. So, yeah, she didn't predict that, but anyway. So she decided to do another album about quilting and asked me if I'd be interested in working with her on it. And I said, sure, it sounds like fun. So we ended up doing this album together. It's called A Quilter's Embrace. And it was also very successful. We ended up doing 3 more albums about quilting. Talk about niche marketing. There it is. Anyway, they were all very successful, and she and her husband, John, built a kind of an entire career around this. She became a very skillful quilter, so they toured across the country doing performances at Quilting Guild meetings while also teaching quilting and so on. I think she even hosted a couple of quilting cruises. Anyway, it was an interesting career. And so I'm going to go back to that first album we did together, A Quilter's Embrace, and I'm going to do a song from that album. Now, this is a song that Cathy did not perform on the album. Her husband John did, and that's because it's called A Quilter's Husband's Lament. It's very funny, and it's got a lot of words, so bear with me. Hope you enjoy it. A Quilter's Husband's Lament. Here we go. I have always known that life is full of obstacles and woe. I've learned to live with sickness, death, and taxes, heaven knows. I've taken all these things in stride, the problems and the strife. The one I didn't count on was a quilter for a wife. Come home from work, the stove is cold, the dirty clothes still there. The suit I wanted clean today is lying on the chair. Where's Mummy, son? I asked my boy. The house is such a mess. Well, the sheets are missing. We've been burglarized, I guess. Now, Mummy stripped down all the beds and took the sheets away. She cut them into little strips and pieced 2 quilts today. Why, every pair of pants I own is cut in little squares. I'm demonstrating applique, my lovely wife declares. I show up at the office in my boxer shorts and tie. My secretary giggles and the clerks give me the eye. It's freezing cold, I'm shaking and my knees are turning blue. The boss considers firing me, but his wife's a quilter too. Now a husband needs a loving wife to help him when he's ill, to soothe and comfort, mop his brow and help him take his pills. But if the flu bug catches you at quilt convention time, take care, my friend, you'll soon find out your life's not worth a dime. You'll learn to ask no questions when she smiles and drives away, rushing to the fabric shop for a big sale there today. She's gone for hours, drags back home all blurry-eyed and down. Now who'd believe a lie like that? She must be running around. Now I'll get by, I always do. Some days are fine, some not. For when your wife's a quilter, you can tolerate a lot. I know that when my life is over and I pass away, they'll have to set my funeral so it's not a quilt guild day. And when St. Peter at the gate says, "Come to me, my son, I'll check you in the book of life to see how you have done," he sadly shakes his head when his finger finds my name. Your wife was quilting all those years? I wonder you're still sane. She didn't cook, she didn't iron, she didn't make the bed. She spent her time on projects for the next quilt show instead. Come right on through these pearly gates, there's nothing left to tell. Your wife was a quilt maker. You have done your time in hell. A Quilter's Husband's Lament from Cathy Miller's album, A Quilter's Embrace. What fun. Thanks, Cathy.